the Ansett Cup. Proudly brought to you by Nike. What are you getting ready for? Holden Commodore Series 2. Drive the pride. Drive the passion. Drive on. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. Hahn Premium Light. Now that's taste. TAC. And Ansett Australia, official airline to the AFL.
Seven Sport takes you to Waverley for the clash between the Kangaroos and Brisbane Lions in the third round of the Ansett Australia Cup.
Good evening and welcome everybody. Good evening to Gerard Healy. This should be a great game. The Kangaroos and the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah, two great sides, Bruce. The Kangaroos perhaps a month ahead of the Lions in preparation, but the Lions had a good win down in Tassie last week against Richmond.
And this is the situation. The Kangaroos with a semi-final berth at stake in the box seat. But what's the magic number for Brisbane if they win?
It's 2 and 3 tonight. They've got to win by 4 goals, and if they can do that, then they'll rob the Kangaroos of a spot in the semi-finals.
So it's a 4-goal game in a way. Those Sydney play tomorrow, they might have something to say. Now, in the red are the players that did not play for the Kangaroos when they beat the Lions in the preliminary final last year.
And I think what we can see, Bruce, is what's being emphasised is the increased depth of the Kangaroos. You throw a Lee Colbert into that side. Robert Scott was emergency right throughout the finals and stiff not to get an appearance. Another good midfielder comes in Kelthorpe, as is Gary Durkay back as a more mature player, and still some height with Hewitt and Burton. And good to see Hay and, of course, young Ryan Pagan getting a run as well.
Speaking of Pagan, Dennis, the coach, is with the Big Dipper right now.
Dennis, the round-robin competition, have you assessed it?
Yeah, it's been a real plus, playing on good grounds, good competition. I think it's terrific.
And you've recruited so well this year. Some of the boys you've picked up have done well for you so far?
Yeah, we're certainly pleased about that. You know, Lee Colbert's done everything we've asked, and even though he may not be in top form, he's going forward all the time. Matthew Burton, David Kelthorpe have done pretty well, and we're really pleased about it.
Because everyone's saying, how did you do it? I mean, how do you get these players?
Well, I suppose every club's trying every year to get quality people to their club, and we've tried probably harder than anyone, I reckon. But we got one to come through our way this year.
Now, it's always hard to be a father. It's always hard to be a coach. At the moment, you're a coach and a father. How are you assessing young Ryan's performances?
He's done okay.
Yeah, what's it like at breakfast time on Saturday mornings?
Yeah, look, it's a tough role to play. He's under more pressure than anyone else, and he's handling it pretty well.
Well, thanks for joining us, and good luck for the rest of the season, buddy.
Good on you, Rob.
Yes, he's done well, Ryan Pagan, and good luck to him. Now, the Lions have got a few back tonight, and they've got a whole lot also that didn't play in that preliminary final.
And this emphasises how unlucky they were not to go in with full strength. They weren't far away from the grand final spot because they went in without Michael Voss. Craig McRae was suspended. Mick Martin comes from the Bulldogs. He should help tonight. Chris Scott got suspended in a very, very controversial decision. He was stiff not to play, but he's back tonight. And Marty McKinnon and Bolton's a big kid, as Bradshaw, and another talented player that, along with McDonald, would expect to blossom this year.
They both look strong, don't they? Here's Lee Matthews, the coach of the Brisbane Lions with Dipper.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bruce. Catching up with Lee Matthews. Lee was just mentioning before we come on about it's the first time you're actually at an AFL venue.
Yeah, well, we've played at Cairns and Hobart, and that's good for footy. But, yeah, coming to AFL Park, even though it might not be here much longer, you're much more like an AFL game against, really good AFL competition. So, hopefully, third game in, our guys have sort of had the couple of games of preparation, and you're ready to really compete and have a real crack at it.
Now, the season proper starts a month away. What do you think about the 6 interchange plays, especially in the heat around Brisbane time?
Well, we don't play any games in Brisbane in March, of course, but I think, 40 degrees in Melbourne yesterday, and it could be 40 degrees any time in Melbourne in March. So I would have thought you have to have a blanket, I think. It just has to say, well, in every game in March, you can have 6 interchange. Might be no 40-degree days, but I think you only need one, and you definitely need them. And it's too hard to make that decision a day ahead. I think it's something that you have to lock in as part of the March schedule.
Well, it's great to catch up with you, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Deb.
Interesting stuff. The interchange.
As always, he makes a pretty fair point, and I think you're right. You've got to give sides a preparation. You can't tell them the night before.
Looking forward to Voss. We're looking forward to a lot of the players out there tonight. We'll take a break. It's the Kangaroos and the Lions after this. Welcome back, Wayne Carey there. We've got a Wayne Carey special at half-time too. What a player he is and what form he's been in this Ansett Australia Cup. And speaking of good form, Alistair Lynch must have been close to his very best last week in kicking 5 goals down in Hobart. Well, we've already seen you a couple of times tonight, Dipper. It's a bit different to last week. This should be a terrific game again.
Yeah, spot on, Bruce. Yeah, a little bit different. Considering the weather we've had. It's just a perfect night, not a breeze out here. And I just noticed Anthony Stevens staying off the bench for the Kangaroos, and Michael Voss was staying on the ground. And I'm looking forward to see these 2 great players back in action sometime this year. And Bruce, I'm going for the Kangaroos tonight. I just think they've been playing terrific football in the last 3 weeks. As Lee mentioned, they had travel all around Australia, and to come down here and have a couple of players just with 1 or 2 games under their belts, they're sort of not ready yet. But Kangaroos for me, and looking forward to a terrific game, boys.
They should start favourites. Yes, maybe the Lions slightly underdone with Lepic and Lappin and Voss coming back. Robbo, always great to work with you, and looking forward to this.
Yes, Bruce, a couple of the antagonists in the Brisbane side, Stephen Lawrence and Chris Scott, we saw there just having a bit of a bumping test, if you want to call it that, to get themselves accustomed to what they're going to be confronted with shortly. But I guess it's all about attitude. You know, one team has Wayne Carey. I'm interested to see how young McDonald goes in the ruck. I think he's got a big job.
So it is a perfect night. Currently 17, expected to get down to 14. So it won't be too cold as we start this 3rd match in the round robin series of the Ansett Australia Cup. Burton getting the first handball. Chris Scott held up there by Craig Shaw, unable to get it away. Abraham over the top of it. Ball hard to get at the moment. Archer playing forward, bustles it out, keeping his eye on it. Harvey, well played though by Mick Martin to take it away, and the Lions come away. Good play here. It's with Huskus, who does look a bit different this year, doesn't he? As he kicks the ball to half forward in the Loy front spot, unable to take the mark. Little quick kick away by Blakey. Blakey's kick cut off there by Black. Handball over the top to Power. Power about 75 metres from goal. Goes to Champion in the pocket and's got him. So the Lions attacking here. Good build-up.
Actually, Black was a player that I think they missed badly in the final last year when he was accidentally hurt, suffered a facial injury, and he went into that game in pretty good form, and I'm sure they missed him.
And from all reports, he starred down in Tassie last week. So it doesn't look as if he's going to carry into this season any repercussions of that facial injury.
Richard Champion, oldest player on their list, from the pocket, kicks the ball right to the square. Burton getting back, belts it away. Simpson's got hold of it, and away go the Kangaroos through Robert Scott.
Little hand pass was okay. Robert Scott's left foot kick, reasonable, close to the line. It is taken over in the finish. And Carey there with Bolton, and the Lions boys, Ashcroft and Scott in there quickly, but Carey, just a wry smile. And of course, we've become accustomed to Adam Huskus and his antics. Carey,
and he probably drags this in underneath him and was lucky not to get penalised.
Boundary throw in, and the ball comes to Black, gets the hand pass away, kicked forward there by Scott, the mark taken by McRae. He's 50 metres from goal. He'll shoot. It'll bounce through for a goal. Unbelievable. Bit of good luck, but it's a goal to the Brisbane side.
McRae with the opening goal. So the Lions lead over the Kangaroos. Burton, McDonald, Spider out of the centre, pushing forward. Carey tried a half volley. Getting in there was Lepic. Carey's hands were good to Simpson, to Grant. Grant under pressure, got a little kick away to full forward. Bolton and Archer. Archer building it back. Lepic may have to concede. No, he's pretty good there to Hart. Confident stuff. Gets it to Chris Scott. Has a bounce. No one really chasing. Goes over the top. That's okay. Back inboard. Black's got hold of it now. Probably getting it from Notting, I think. Kicks down the line to Lynch. Couldn't take the mark. Mickey with him. And looked soft. It looked a bit ticking touchwood for Lynch. Kicks the ball along the line. It was a poor kick. McRae and Blakey. Boundary thrown. Gee, Jared, there's some good matchups. I noticed Voss was on Archer a moment ago. Now Bolton's gone there. Voss has gone to Simpson. Lepic has got Carey. Everywhere you look, there's some terrific matchups here. 2
very good sides, and well, it wouldn't surprise if this was a prelude to the day grand final in about 9 months' time.
Lang, number 27 for the Kangaroos. Black, his 4th hand pass. He's already had a kick, and he's going to take a free kick here. The tackle deemed as a little crude. So Simon Black coming up for possession number 5 already in this match. He's been very busy. A high kick, lands the ball inside their forward 50. Kicked away by Scott. Mark taken by Voss.
Well, Simon Black is the quintessential ball magnet. He just does know where the football is, and he gets it away quickly. And he's a player that, with his growing reputation, you would expect to be tagged for the majority of his career. That looks to be a long one.
Well, pretty good start here by Brisbane. Voss going for their second goal. North Melbourne still to score. Well, not a typical Michael Voss kick, I wouldn't have thought. He's missed everything, kicked it out of bounds on the full. Dipper.
Robbo, the bench for the Kangaroos: Stevens, Pike, Durkay, Hewitt, Clayton and Adam Hay.
Blakey, thanks for that, Dipper. Simpson, the only one, oh, not Simpson, Colbert, I should say, the only one going.
See, they do it well, that the Kangaroos. The person at the back, he shepherds out for another player coming across the front to take an uncontested mark.
Nodding again. Good kick to Champion between centre wing and half forward. So Colbert and Champion, one of the matchups here. Champion with a couple of touches early. Colbert taking a good mark a moment ago. Pushes it inside 50, a floater. And Mickey Martin, who had some knee problems at Manuka Oval last Saturday, couldn't complete that match. But back tonight.
And Lee Matthews has got Bo McDonald just playing as a loose man across that half-back line. He's the player furthest in defence for Brisbane at the moment.
Colbert, Lepich, good to see him back too. Hamble in board. Ashcroft took a while. Good handle under pressure. Copped a high tackle. Advantage paid to Chris Scott. Belts it to full forward. Not a particularly good result for the Lions. Belted away. Colbert gets a touch again.
And it's a good confidence builder for Lee Colbert to get a couple of touches early in the game. And by geez, a hard man, isn't he? Wayne Carey, his immediate opponent there, Justin Lepich. But Carey, bodywork sensation.
It was a strength test, that one, Robbo, wasn't it?
Terrific stuff by Wayne Carey. His kick will land the ball at half forward. Knocked away by McDonald. Very intelligently done. Power kicks the ball forward. Good crumbing by McRae. Knocks it clear. Well done, Black again. Lawrence, tough as old boots, Stephen Lawrence. Ordinary kick by that player into the pocket. McRae, Blakey, and Blakey plays the percentages once again and knocks the ball clear for a boundary throw in about 25 metres around from the Brisbane goal.
Robbo, I'll give you
down on the boundary line.
I'll give the Lions bench here. Chris Johnson, McKinnon, Ben Robbins, Daniel Bradshaw, Matthew Kenny and Nigel Lappin.
Thanks, Dipper. Lions a goal up. Voss missing everything a few minutes ago, so they've had most of it. Malloy at the back. Simpson cut it off. Back to Chris Scott. Up and high. It'll be play on. Malloy's strength took the mark but didn't cover 10 metres. And now he's getting tackled by the Kangaroos. And a ball up. He looks fit. They've told us how much weight he's lost, Jared Malloy. Hoping they'll be able to play a little more up the ground if needed. But very much an explosive type player. So strong. Throw up taking place. Lang over the top. Back to Simpson. Got the handball away. Under pressure. Hart cleverly. Little kick didn't go fast. Scott sort of cut it off. Pagan over the top of it. Still a hard ball to get. Colbert and Voss both went hard. Well played, Colbert. Back to Champion. Champion didn't quite get a kick away. Ball unable to be got clear. And now squeezing it was King to half back. A good mark by Archer against Bolton.
Yeah, good contest, but more experience there. Glenn Archer, little left foot kick all right to Carey. Carey positions the ball deep at left half forward. Good lead out in front. The kick was a beauty. Gave Craig Scholl the opportunity to run onto it, not missing a stride. Then he kicks the ball to within scoring range for the Kangaroos. Burton not able to take it. In there was Abraham. Gathered there by Calthorpe. Gets it to Grant. Grant, disciplined kick to the front of the goals. Burton goes back with the flight of the ball. Couldn't take the mark. Away goes Scott. A wobbly old punt kick. Slews off the side of his boot in the finish. The bounce a little awkward. Shoulders there. Contest provided by the Lions defence there. Just knocking the ball clear, but not clear enough away from Carey. Grant pounces on it. Now Grant kicks the ball in towards the half-forward area. Still close enough for the Kangaroos if they can take a clean possession, which they can't. Both defences working very, very hard to just make the opportunities for the forwards extremely difficult. Number 26 there, Peter Bell, couldn't get hold of the football, and the umpire is forced to ball it up about 40 metres from the Kangaroos' goal.
And obviously this rule has gone out a week early. Umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. Looks like Ben Robbins, or it might have been Ackermanis, had a spade out there. He shoveled that ball so obviously.
Forward pocket for the Kangaroos. Free kick, I think, going to the Lions. And Chris Scott
Well, it's not easy to umpire. I think there's very, very scrambly play by both sides, and the umpire obviously there, just a bit desperate, decided to give a free kick, maybe to get it out into the clear.
Ashcroft, such a neat player, isn't he? Malloy went early with that strength. On the ground, Martin, that's Mick Martin. There are two Martins here, Michael, of course, and Mick, former Bulldog.
They're still not paying free kicks for just getting it out in the clear, surely, Robert?
I wouldn't think so, but just looked as though it was a free kick plucked from nowhere.
McDonald lays it off. Harvey to Lang. Lang to the half forward. Shouldered really well there to Abraham. Abraham rode it beautifully, kicks a goal. Gee, he can play footy, that kid.
Equalising goal, kicked by Winston Abraham. McDonald doing well at the centre bounces, kicked off the ground by Ashcroft to within about 35-40 metres of the Brisbane goal. Hand pass came out when the player was on the ground, was it?
That's a free kick for
Push
the
out,
push.
was it? It will go to the Kangaroos to be taken by Adam Lang. 5 games last year. And according to the media information booklet that we're fed, can play at either end of the ground, and just maybe Mickey Martin's immediate replacement if he decides to retire at some stage in the near future, I guess. Lang's kick goes out wide. Ashcroft gathers, always seems to have plenty of time. Sign of a very good player. Kicks towards half forward. Terrific knock to the back. Champion's kick. A wobbly old punt kick. Lawrence and Blakey still there. Lang tackled by Lawrence. Ball free. Opportunity now for Power. Gets it to Voss. Voss a snapshot at goal again. Very wobbly through the air, but on this occasion he does score, and he scores a behind Michael Voss.
Lee Matthews making a structural change here, Dipper.
Yeah, Nigel Lappin coming on, and young Pickett coming off.
Pickett to bring it in. Tight match.
Notting, sorry, boys. Notting coming off. Sorry.
Tim Notting here. Thanks, Dipper. Pickett, penetrating kick right to the centre square. Mick Martin's handball. Ashcroft rode it pretty well. Chris Scott got to keep his head down, which he does. Abraham was clever. Coming back from Pagan, gets it to Shannon Grant. Simpson was terrific late. McRae's handball good. Gets it across to Power. Centering kick is okay to fall forward. Hard at it was Lawrence. Back to Champion. Champion wobbles and misses. It's a behind. So the Lions having more of it, you'd say. But they've missed a few. That was a bit tougher than maybe Vossi's first one and his second one.
The Lions' pressure tonight is just fantastic. The tackle has been superb, giving the Kangaroos no opportunity to get rid of the ball when they have a chance.
And they're getting some numbers around the football.
Beautiful kick in, has found Colbert. The kick went nearly 50 metres by Byron Pickett. Colbert goes out wide. Beautiful running provided by Blakey from the last line of defence. He's going to get a possession on centre wing, John Blakey. The short pass is bullet-like onto the chest of Scholl. Scholl between wing and left half forward, swings around and then hooks the kick in towards the pocket. Oh, it's well done. The weight on that was perfect. He spotted Burton and just held the kick up beautifully, did Craig Scholl. And Burton, who is a very skillful player for such a tall man, and just checking where the mark is.
And already you can just see Spider Burton knowing that Wayne Carey's going to drag a couple of players, so Carey runs deep and creates some space, and he's just slotted in there nicely, but has failed to convert.
Yes, just hooked the kick a little and scores a behind. First score for Matthew Burton. Goal for the Kangaroos from Winston Abraham's boot. Jason Ackermanis to kick in, and the goal for Brisbane, kicked by Craig McRae.
Found Malloy all on his own. Malloy gets the ball over centre wing, so they've got some good penetration here. Colbert did well there. Champion unhappy maybe, but that was a good mark by Colbert. Used his body against Champion.
Fifth possession coming up.
Again short, and finds Harvey. Harvey, who was very good last week at Manuka, runs his full measure with a couple of bounces and goes right to full forward. Hughes getting back, bouncing ball. Here's the chance. Running through, it's a behind. Running onto it was Calthorpe.
Ackermanis did pretty well too, Bruce, under that sort of pressure right on the goal line to knock it through for a rush behind. Watch Ackermanis here over the top.
So Ackermanis and Calthorpe there. Calthorpe, who didn't have a pleasant time in Brisbane last year, struggled really to make his mark. and with his third club. Premiership player at Essendon. Voss getting plenty of it early. Colbert front spot, having the better of the champion duel at the moment. Good handball out wide. And away to Lappin. Was that from Black? I think it was. To McRae. Oh, good, terrific smother by Peter Bell. McRae running hard after it again. May go off the ground. He does. Pickett, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The kick in short, Lang. The champion makes the contest. Colbert running away. A little slow. And McDonald able to nearly cut it off. And did very well out to Voss. Voss off one leg. Kick is a clever one into the centre. Taken by Scott. A good build up here to Martin. Will he use his pace? He finds a bit of space. Bullet-like kicks a beauty. And finds Lawrence in the pocket.
What about the ability to handle the oval ball down around your ankles, around the middle of the ground? I forget who it was that grabbed it.
Pickett.
Oh, gee, they're fantastic, the players, with only a couple of games under their belt in season 2000.
Pretty fair smother as well.
Lawrence from the pocket. He's missed, I think. So they've wasted a few, haven't they, the Lions? It's 1-3 to 1-2, but they really should be 3-1.
Yes, I think Michael Voss's chance earlier in the quarter, he would normally convert from that position. Brisbane lead by a point. Byron Pickett to kick in, close to the line. Gee, was that precision or was that precision?
Not sure whether Lee Matthews has changed his zone defence, but he's just about got every player in the 18 on the ground involved. Everybody was up past the half-forward line then.
In trouble, Pagan, and applying the pressure. I thought he did that reasonably well, but the umpire right there on the scene has decided that it is a free kick. That umpire Michael Avon.
Champion coming off, boys.
Ryan Pagan here. Gee, I thought he would have been lucky enough to get out of that. Ashcroft kicks it forward. Colbert kicked away by Lawrence, smothered off the boot. Was terrific play, and that player is going to be penalised.
Dragged it in when he was on the ground, according to the umpire.
Well, I think these are the circumstances where we have a bit of a worry. Colbert lying on the ground, grabs it, and then tries to... Well, it didn't look as though he did anything, really, so maybe penalised for holding it. Lawrence should kick a goal. And he has kicked Brisbane's second goal, Steve Lawrence.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come back.
7-point margin, 2-3-1-2. So Lawrence getting amongst it. McDonald.
Very good.
Black, who's had a lot of it early. Burl gets it to Pagan. Pagan inside 50. Belted away at the back there by Huskus. Handball by Black. Lappin, he's come off the interchange. McKinnon's on. Dipper gave that information a moment ago. And Voss streams away to Lawrence. Good kick. And a very good mark by Lawrence.
4 kicks to Voss.
Been important, Voss, hasn't he? I think Lee Matthews was expecting not to play Lepic, Voss and Lappin for the whole match because they're coming back for the first time this year, but they're key players, and Voss has started really well here. So Lawrence at 50. Bit of a hook coming back. Looks a good kick. I think he's got it. He's kicked his second. Lawrence has got 2. So that's a good effort by Lawrence, and it's 3-3 to 1-2.
Well, I mentioned earlier that his determination is first class, Stephen Lawrence. And in this first quarter already, he's kicked a couple of goals. Brisbane have the advantage. They're taking the ball away from the centre too. They've probably had 5 clean centre breaks in this first term. Lang under pressure, kicks it wide, very wide, bounces just inside the field of play and over for a boundary throw-in between wing and left half forward, favouring Brisbane.
Yeah, Lawrence is the perfect player to have up the 4 lines. You mentioned before, he's tough as nails, and he's just a terrific player. He's always, you know, tackling and under the ball always.
Creating some problems down there for John Blakey in this first term, Stephen Lawrence.
Left half forward for the Lions have made a very promising start here. Malloy was over the top. Harvey forced to go back. Good defensive kick in the end. Simpson, Gore, terrific fly. Didn't quite hold it. Voss, 5th kick coming up. Again important. Kicks to about 50. Power couldn't take the mark. McRae and Power both go to ground. Ashcroft's in there. Scott's over the top. And free kick going to the Kangaroos. The advantage given to Scotty. So Robert Scott away. Floats one into the centre. Carey, good take. Left-hand handball wide. Wanting Grant. Cut off by Athermanis, who was superb last year. Forced to improvise. Doesn't quite get it away. Calthorpe would love to play a big part today or tonight. Abraham belts to full forward. Big spider. McDonald getting back. Archer's got hold of it. Archer with the left foot going for goal. Hooks it just a bit. It's a behind. 1-3 plays 3-3. Glenn Archer, who played forward a fair bit this year, was forward last week at Monica. What a player he's been, Glenn Archer, over the years. Wonderful finals player. Norm Smith medalist when the Kangaroos beat Sydney in 1996.
Brisbane by 12 points, and Huskis to kick it back for Brisbane. Goes out very wide. Looking for Lepic. Covers that player's head. Voss, on this occasion, beaten for it by Simpson. Back to Bell. Bell, key player in the Kangaroos, couple of flags in the last 3 years. The kick forward towards centre-half forward. Burton couldn't take the mark. Bolton, lucky to get away with that. Looked like a one-handed hand pass.
Voss coming off the ground.
Hart back into the centre. Mark taken by Pagan.
Voss off 99. Just have a bit of a breather, boys. He just gave up chasing Simpson then.
He did too. It was quite obvious too, Dipper. The kick forward. Black again. Nodding straight into the play. Huskis from his defensive 50-metre. Good kick by Adam Huskis. McRae wider still to Lappin. Lappin uses the ball pretty well, but on this occasion puts it on the chest of the Kangaroos defender, Byron Pickett.
Goes to centre-half forward. Abraham a target. Cutting across from the side was Malloy. Took a good mark. Out wide. So the Lions by a couple of goals early. Martin's looked all right, hasn't he? He's got plenty of it. Building it to half forward. Pickett getting back and takes the mark. Might get a penalty here. No. Reads it just unbelievably at times, Pickett, doesn't he?
Yeah, most definitely.
It's one of the most exciting footballers.
Good kick too.
Grant, the Norm Smith medalist from last year. What a triumph that was for Shannon Grant. Gets it to about 50, and McDonald...
He's done well, this bloke.
Put on 7 kilograms since last year, McDonald. He's really built up. Martin's handball was good to Lappin. They're a free-flowing team, the Lions. They're good to watch. Not such a good kick. Lang belting away. He's a dour defender, isn't he, Lang, by the look of him? And the free kick going to the line, against the Lions. Against McKinnon. They'll be disappointed there on Colbert because they really were in the box seat.
I think if you elect to punch the ball away, Bruce, when you can take a chest mark, it's a fair description, a dour defender.
Lang, he reminds me of the Darren Mead, Lang, to be truthful. I mean, maybe I'm going a bit early with that one, but anyway.
The kick forward was by Hewitt. McDonald not able to gather. Scholl tried a sneaky little hand pass out of that pack of 3 or 4 players. Then got his boot to it while he was on the ground and gave Carey the chance to kick a goal. Well, this is another example of the skills of the modern-day AFL player. I'm sure Scholl, his reactions were incredible here.
I think the only thing to ask, Robbo, is did he take the ball when he was on the ground? In fact, he had it in his possession before he went to ground, so that was all legitimate, and it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Oh, terrific stuff.
I wonder if he knew Wayne was there.
I don't know about that, but just to have the presence of mind and get a little toe poke to it and put it into the clear.
So they've had a wonderful understanding over the years, those two. Scholl plays off Carey so well, and the playmaker there. So the Kangaroos bounce back. Simpson's kick. Harvey looked like he might have been interfered with. Calthorpe's handball back to Bell. Bell with some space now, and the siren goes. Good quarter, wasn't it? It really was a good quarter.
Entertaining.
I think most of us came here thinking, well, they're two terrific teams, two maybe the top 4 teams this year, but the Kangaroos are a little more primed for this one than the Lions, but Brisbane have come out well, and they're a goal in front, so it's a perfect setup, to be truthful, with the Lions leading by a goal. Probably should be another one in front, I think. It's 3-3 to 2-3.
Yeah, and I think they're just dominating around the middle at the moment, with Black and Ashcroft getting plenty of possessions. Carey's had 6 possessions and kicked a goal. Lepic a little bit down at the moment. It's going to be a great match. Stay with us after the second quarter.
Welcome Welcome back. Hope you're enjoying this match. The Ansett Australia Cup at Waverley tonight. The Kangaroos are 2-3, Brisbane 3-3. Carey and Abraham, the goal scorers for the Roos. And for the Lions, a couple to Lawrence and one to McRae. So a goal in it and a good start by the Lions. Now the Kangaroos hotline for memberships, 1800 007 667. So ring that for memberships. So important to each and every club. The Kangaroos, it's 1800 007 667. Well, I think Lee Matthews will be pretty happy. They had a lot of the ball, particularly after the first 10 minutes. And a goal up, but that late goal to Carey helped. Calthorpe's been pretty good with Abraham. Important match for Calthorpe tonight against the Lions, where he never really settled. He was dropped after round 15 and they went on to win a string of matches together.
Dennis Pagan just with a specific group of players around the whiteboard. Down on the boundary line though, Robert Deputy meeting with
thanks,
Tony
Gerald.
Elshaw.
I've got Tony, a very tight first quarter there. They gave you no space at all.
Look, we expected that after last year's preliminary final and that sort of stuff, and it was always going to be a contest, and that's what we've got. And I think at this time of year, after 2 wins, that's exactly what we need.
Colbert did the job in that first quarter, had Champion take him off the ground.
Yeah, look, Lee's finding his feet after 12 months out of the game, and we know Lee's going to be a very good player for us. It's just going to take a bit of time, and he's done very well tonight.
Anthony Stevens, we expect him to see on the ground the second quarter?
Look, we'll just have to wait and see how we go. We're probably a little bit down in the midfield at the minute, and we probably need a lift there. Where Anthony comes in, we'll just have to wait and see.
Thanks, Tony. Good day, buddy.
Tony Elshaw, the assistant coach at the Kangaroos. Good point on Colbert.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have forgotten the fact that he is coming back from a knee reconstruction, and we won't see the best of him probably until this time next year, but he'll be a good player for the Kangaroos during the season.
Kangaroos come to the right, and McDonald gets over the top, so the Lions to the left of screen. Malloy, handball missed. Ashcroft has a second go, gets it wide to Chris Scott. Chris Scott, left foot to the front of the square, control kick, Lynch the target, goes hard at it. McRae couldn't quite get hold of it. It was a tough ball to take, and Bill wants a free kick and doesn't get it. About 30 metres out in front of the Lions goal. I think it's Black picking himself up. Very good opening term, Black. 10 possessions. Ben Robbins there, wasn't quite sure who we were seeing there. Pike coming out of the back line, had to squeeze the kick. Ackermanis, normally very clever, up against Calthorpe. Then Archer over the top, brings it out wide. Controlled kick, bouncing ball. Getting hold of it was Simpson. Simpson's kick okay, and finds Clayton, who's now on the ground. Clayton between centre wing and half forward. He too played a bit of footy at the Lions. Goes to the pocket. Abraham might be a target with Carey. Abraham's got it. Abraham in the front spot. Carey saying he was interfered with, probably not realising that Abraham's taken the mark.
Just having a look at the way the Kangaroos lined up for that forward attack, I wouldn't be surprised if what Dennis Pagan was talking about at quarter time was the positioning of Winston Abraham and Brent Harvey in that forward line. Wayne Carey was charging up the middle, and I think they are going to use a shortish and mobile options deep in the forward line.
Kicked a very clever goal in the opening term, Abraham. Very skillful player, and they like it. It's a goal.
Well, very good kick there by Abraham from a difficult position in the forward pocket region to get his second goal and level the scores here in the round 3 Ansett Cup match between the Kangaroos and the Lions. Martin kicks it wide, very wide. Opportunity now here for Power. Got the hand pass away. Lappin not bad in and under to Power. Back to Lappin. Nearly run down by Clayton, but he had the pace to get away and get into the clear and kick the ball down towards half forward. That's a free kick to McRae against Scott. Didn't have the football. McRae quick to seize the opportunity to play on and kick the ball in the direction of Lynch. Back there was Lynch giving the free kick away. No, shepherding out, was it? So the free kick will go to Lynch.
Yeah, he's paid his shepherd against Mick Martin for pushing him out of the contest. And pretty early in the year, we're seeing that Lee Matthews has just told him to get the ball up in the air and all the small players hit the pack. Geez, it was a big call from the umpire. I think Lynch was doing as much pushing as Mick was doing reversing.
Well, Lynch has the free kick. Only a matter of 40 metres. Goes for goal, and he has converted. He's kicked it.
Lions bar goal. Black, Malloy, and it's a free kick coming back to Black, I think, for in the back.
I'll just give the bench work an opportunity here, boys. Stevens, Blakey, Durkay, Burton, Hay and David King for the Kangaroos. Hart, Bradshaw, Kennedy, Robbins, Champion Chris Johnson, and Michael Voss now playing back pocket on Brett Harvey.
Good on you, Dipper. Black, short, good kick. And Lawrence has got it. He kicked a couple in the opening term, Lawrence. Precision, like kick wasn't it perfect. Finding some space and in the corridor too, so Lawrence in the right spot to kick the goal. Black's been superb in the middle of the ground. So Lawrence, chance to kick his third. He's going to kick on 50. It'll be a difficult kick. He's kicked it very well. He's kicked a goal. Three to Lawrence, and the Lions pinch a little break here. They've been a little fortunate, maybe. They've had a couple of free kicks, which they've converted, but just getting home there.
The real star has been Simon Black. He's a player that I guess heralded his arrival last year with a full season of outstanding performances. And, well, there's a lot of people that say that his injury in the preliminary final did cost them the match, or at least being competitive at the end. Don't forget that they were in front at half-time with a depleted side. And he's going to make a big mark on footy over the next few years in Brisbane.
McDonald gets his hand onto it first again at the centre bounce, but not able to knock it clear enough for Brisbane's advantage. At half-back, it's Voss. Kicks the ball high out wide. Malloy, Scott. In goes McRae. Backing up is Scott. Hooks the kick around his body, but back to a nest of Lions. Scott, that's Chris Scott for Brisbane. Kicks it well and truly inside the forward 50. Big punch from the Kangaroos defence. It may have been Pike. Pagan kicks it back towards the centre of the ground, and the mark is taken by Grant.
Lee Matthews is expecting the Pagans paddock scenario because he's got Big Bo McDonald just plonked right in the middle of the paddock.
Leppich on this occasion, not able to get the hand pass away. Good pressure provided by Scholl. Out came Martin, couldn't gather the ball. Scholl fighting on. Second effort there, pretty good. Ashcroft gathers and gets the hand pass away to Martin. That's Mick Martin for Brisbane. He kicks the ball in towards centre half forward, getting back and keeping his eyes right on the ball there was McRae, and takes a good mark 50 metres from goal. One of Lee Matthews' trusty assistants there, Gary O'Donnell, on the screen just a moment ago in the coach's box. Watch the eyes right on the ball here. Good stuff by McRae. Had the advantage of the ball going further away from he and his opponent. He put his body between his opponent and the football, and he'll shoot for goal. He's a lovely long kick of the footy. He'll land the ball right in the square. Mark taken by Lynch. Martin and Pike, innocent onlookers there as Lynch takes the mark. The angle will be his greatest concern. You can see there, going right around, being pushed all the way around. He'll be on the boundary line, I would think, when by the time the umpire lines him up properly.
I think he used the goalpost as a shepherd almost. And see Robert Scott coming from the ground, replaced by King. And Scott's really been touched up a little bit early in the match by Craig McRae.
Lynch has kicked the goal, so he's going for his second. The margin at the moment, 12 points. Can Lynch make it 18? I would suggest he has. 2 goals to Lynch.
Snuck away a bit, the Lions here. 6-3, so the Kangas need the next one. Hewitt's in the centre square for them. Harvey gets a kick to about 50. And Martin and Abraham. Martin's going to get the free kick. Former Bulldog. Michael Martin, Mick Martin. Not sure where to go. He's got McDonald very wide. He's going to poke it out that way. Now this is an important kick because McDonald's now out of position. Kicks the ball to centre wing. Malloy, that's a free kick to Lane, surely. Malloy shoving him out of the way.
And that kick of Bo McDonald will really please Lee Matthews. He wants his ruckman to get possessions around the ground, not just have an impact at centre bounces.
Scholl's got it. And at half forward right, he's going to put it up in the air and hope for a big mark. Maybe Hewitt's going to be the flyer at the back. Martin got his hands on it. Well, going in very hard there was Calthorpe over the top of Black, and a free kick against the Kangaroos. And Black's got it.
Yeah, Shannon Grant picked the ball up when he was on his knees.
Out wide to Ackermanis. Just clever. To Power.
Yeah, Jerry, Bob McDonald's done the job. Burton's off the ground.
Bolton. So Dipper, Burton's off the ground?
Yeah, Burton's off the ground, and Dennis Pagan's put Heward as centre-half forward, but now he's trying to get Burton back on the ground, and he's just done a terrific job, this Bob McDonald, tonight.
King, good mark over the top of McRae.
And a rebounding defender, David King, and a very active player around the middle of the ground on this occasion. Kicks it into the area of Carey. Taken away by Lepic. Gets the hand pass back to Martin. He's got time to assess, and then kicks it quite nicely. And no mark taken out there by Notting, by the look of it. Beaten for it on this occasion. In goes Hewitt. 23 is Clayton. Ashcroft. The umpire's found a free kick. Behind play. It'll go back to the Kangaroos and be taken by Ryan Pagan. Pagan kicks the ball to the front of the goals. Good mark. Terrific mark taken by Malloy. Big, strong player, and took a fairly strong mark at half-back.
This is what the Kangaroos have got to do, Robbo. Got to get the football in their forward 50 and spend some time in there. The Lions are just rushing the ball out and not having enough time in their forward 50 to kick some goals. Let's just have a look at the way Alistair Lynch cleverly uses the goal post here to get away from Mick Martin. He goes around one side and then reappears the other. Mick doesn't know where he is. He comes back with a footy.
Kangaroos trying to get the ball clear of their half-forward line. Abraham taken by Voss, tapped it on, gathered by Archer. Good kick by Glenn Archer to the front of the goals, and that's a terrific mark. Going back, knowing that he was going to be hammered from behind, Huska stood his ground. Notting gets the ball down towards centre wing. Lappin and Clayton. Lappin backs himself, taps it on in front of himself, when perhaps he could have nearly gathered the ball, but in the finish just trundles it over for a throw-in.
Midfield possessions are interesting when you compare. The Kangaroos have had 50 and Brisbane have had 70, and of the 70 they've had 30 handballs. Black's had 9 of those, and Mick Martin's had 8 handballs as well.
Black and Simpson towards the line, and again I think some of the fans out there thought it might have come off Black's leg below the knee, but there's the interchange group led by a big spider Burton. Gary Durkay in the back for the Kangaroos.
The experiment of Archer up in the forward line didn't really work in this match. He's done it plenty of times before. See there, he was taking the ruck, but I think you'll find he's going to match up with Malloy.
Gee, Bell's tough because he copped a hard one there from Malloy. All fair and above board, but he kept on going. King around the body, kicks to centre wing. Clayton's got hold of it. They're on here if he can get it to Shoal. Hasn't seen him yet. Doesn't see him. Comes across to the centre to Simpson. Simpson can release King if he wants to. Goes hard and high to the forward pocket. Lepic had the drop on Kerry. Belts it away. Calthorpe running hard, punting those legs of his. Runs to the boundary line. Boundary throw in. Ackermanis running him over 50 metres from goal.
Interesting play. Both Lions players went for the punch and then go for the mark. They went straight for the boundary line. Good disciplined play there.
Calthorpe running hard, but not able to, going a little bit too quick in the finish perhaps to control the football. Carey doing the ruck work, Archer the tackler, but the ball kicked back towards centre wing. Good punch away there by Pickett. Gathered by Grant. He's tackled by Power and Black. Players there not prepared to take possession of the ball. Very big risk, and eventually the umpire decides that the best way out of this is to ball it up, and the play between wing and centre-half forward favouring the Kangaroos.
Matthew Kennedy now playing centre-half forward.
And Lee Matthews saying Beau McDonald not up there. He wants him back, helping out the back line.
Here's a chance for the Kangaroos. Harvey, handball back to Simpson. Simpson, indiscriminate kick, but lands it in a good area, right in front of the goals. Carey to Bell. Bell goes for goal and hits the post.
Bit of a let off there for the Lions because it was McDonald that had the ball in his hands and it just slipped out, and then Peter Bell missed what he normally would have hit.
Hughes just to bring it in. I think the Lions would love this lead at half-time, wouldn't they, if they could hang on to it. 3-4 to 6-3. Martin's kicked a half-back. Kennedy getting a run. Carey belts it away. Bell runs hard at it. Keeps his eye on it. It'll be a boundary throw. About 60 metres from goal. Not a big crowd, but vocal. Didn't expect a huge turn up tonight. But the Ansett Cup always builds, and we usually have a grand finale come grand final time. Bell pushing out. Gee, off the ground there from Voss, I think. Covered a fair bit of territory. I hope he hasn't hurt himself, Voss. He's had a lot of leg problems over the years, and he might be in a bit of strife here. Coming back to Archer, just seeing the replay there, you can see he went down in pain. Archer goes to fall forward. Holding his ground was Calthorpe. Bolton's there. Calthorpe well played. Gets it across, and the kick is a good one from Shannon Grant. It's a goal. So Grant with a goal. And it's 4-4 to 6-3.
Well, very important goal kick for the Kangaroos by Shannon Grant. He's a very skillful player, particularly if he's given the chance to get a clear kick with that left foot. And it was a great snapshot. Adam Simpson tried to break away. Malloy dispossessed. Taken now by Lang to Pike. Pike out very wide. Bouncing ball, end on end, and races away from the players for a boundary throwing. 39 plays, 28. 11 points is the lead. Enjoyed by Brisbane with 6 minutes left in the second term.
And there'll be a bit of a question about the skipper, Michael Voss, just to see how long he can last. He's really struggling at the present time. He copped a heavy blow, as we saw just prior to that goal, but I think he's also suffering a bit from fatigue.
Lang doing the ruck work. Adam Simpson in the clear, but not able to get to the footy.
Well, the Lions have struggled centre half forward tonight. They've had a few players go through there. Now Bo McDonald's playing a full forward next to Alistair Lynch. Burton's back on the ground for the Kangaroos, so there's a few changes off the bench at the moment.
And they got Malloy into the ruck dipper.
That's right, Julie.
Chance here for Abraham. Kicks towards half forward. Carey will get a goal. Watch this.
Sweet.
Now that's that is arrogance if ever you've seen it. Takes the mark and kicks the goal.
Couple to Carey, couple to Abraham, and Grant with a goal. So the Kangaroos have bounced right back here within a kick, getting up towards half-time. Pagan's handball okay to Simpson. Wobbles it to half-forward. Archer with good body strength there against Bolton. Calthorpe, handball to Scholl. Scholl squeezes, but Leppich will get that one. Leppich and Carey. Leppich, like Voss, maybe slightly underdone. Leppich, good kick. Now Black's all it's Chris Johnson all on his own here. Strides away, goes long, not a good kick. Ignored the lead and went long, and Colbert was able to take a very easy mark in the end. So a promising attack is thwarted. Colbert's kick to Pickett. Okay. Pickett has to sit under it. He does do that. Coming in hard was Power from the side. Might come back to Pickett. Does brilliantly. Does very well. Keeps his cool. The handball was a hot one in the end. King gets it from Pagan. Back. Ball to be won by Pickett and also Johnson. Mickey Martin. Power was terrific. Black couldn't quite control it. Run down by Harvey. Keeps his feet. Black takes them on arrogantly. Then goes for goal. Across the face. About 20 metres out. Malloy couldn't take it. Pike comes away. Streaming away into the centre. Clayton dummies the handball. Over the top. Running hard was Grant. Grant can go to Bell with a little one. Gets him now 60 metres out. Will go on as they always do. Abraham's the kick. Got in. Doesn't play it. Play on call. Winnie brings it back out. Taken by Scholl. Has to concede some ground. Goes out wide. Gets to 50. Bill stops. Props. Straightens up. Goes to Abraham. Goes early. But Kennedy takes the mark. Oh, it was a good, exciting build-up.
Yes, there was some certainly some frenetic play there by both teams. But Kennedy will clear for Brisbane.
Stevens on for the Kangaroos.
Long kick, good mark taken there by Grant from behind Notting. Squeezes the kick away into the pocket, and no mark to Carey. Ball hits the ground. Bell, handball's out wide. Scholl tackled, dispossessed. Johnson, peripheral to Ackermanis. Lappin, Ackermanis. Good combination there by Brisbane. Steady as a rock in defence. Kicked away there by Champion. Gathered by Lang. Rebound football now. The Kangaroos can go the length of the ground. This is Anthony Stevens on the ground. Kicks in towards half forward at the face of Craig Scholl. He marks. Goes wider still. and they have got the ball all the way up to half forward. Adam Simpson with the footy, probably too far out to score. Will kick the ball to within 25 metres, and a simple mark taken by Kennedy, running out and with a bit of aggression there. Takes the mark, goes out wide, misses his target, which was probably Mickey Martin. Missed his target by a metre or so, and it bounces over for a throw-in.
And all players getting a 10-second rest, and I reckon they'd be looking forward to it. The last 5 minutes has been frenetic without a goal having been scored.
Kangaroos making their move, aren't they? In the last 10 minutes on the Lions, who led by 3 goals at one stage. Archer unable to burst his way through, and it'll be a ball up about 40 metres from goal.
Bell off, Durkay on, but it's surprising the Kangaroos haven't kicked a goal in the last few minutes, and I think the Lions, if they can just hold on, or if, in fact, get one back, it'll be a pretty important moment in the match.
Might get one here, Gerard. Scholl's normally good. He's got it. No, he's missed. I think he fancied it. And so did a couple of his teammates. He's been pretty good, Scholl. 32 years of age. There's Bell having a blow.
Vossi about to come back on. He's just had a bit of a rest. And Luke Powell took himself off the ground, went straight up the race. So we'll keep up to date at half-time with that.
Geez, some interesting stuff here. Ackermanis, little toe poke to Huskis, to Johnson. And off the ground there, intercepted by Chris Johnson. Handball to Ackermanis, to Mick Martin. Martin away, going to ground. Was Lappin. Okay now. Lappin streams through the centre. Good. Kick to Hart.
And not having to change stride. Sean Hart gathers, kicks the ball forward. There's a chance now for Pickett to clear. He'll be run down by McDonald. No, he won't. He's a little bit too clever for that. And he squeezes a nice little kick to Lang. Lang into the centre. Clayton has taken the mark. The mark being minded ever so diligently by Hart, but he's able to get the kick in towards the middle of the ground. This is Pike. Pike now for the Kangaroos, goes towards half forward, the spillage to the back of the pack, and who's going to swoop on it? Carey, handball back towards Scholl, they're sharing it around. Scholl not able to get the kick away. It was a bit of a scrambly old kick in the finish. Ackermanis goes wider, Bolton goes to the safety of the line, he doesn't find it. He puts it blatantly out on the full, and it's a free kick for the Kangaroos in that left forward pocket. Michael Voss just having a little bit of a rest there on the boundary line. It looks as though he's going to come back onto the ground shortly. The kick in towards full forward. That's a mark. No, not paid. Kelthorpe. Kick goes close to the line. Matthew Kennedy prepared there to take it over for a throw-in.
Lynch off and Voss down to full forward.
Had a fair bit of a leverage, didn't he? Maybe Burton got his fingers to it as well. No mark. Right forward pocket, Burton front spot. Kennedy was at the back. Little kick by Chris Scott, didn't go far. Scholl getting very heavily involved here. The ball smothered off the boot. Huskis belts it clear. Carey with a chance. Sits, waits, can't get through Black. Play on, good call in the end. Mickey Martin over the top, that's the Brisbane line. Releases Notting, and chasing hard as Harvey. Notting decides to kick long and hard to half forward. Good kick to Lawrence on the burst. Lawrence has kicked 3 goals in this opening half. Archer just with a bit of a limp there behind play. Goes in short. Voss was a target. McRae trapped, not McRae. Comes out to McRae now. I'll pick up that other player in a moment. I think it might have been Notting. And the umpire just waiting for it to come out. Pickett gets it out. And maybe with a bit of... what's happening now? It's coming back.
Free kick, I think.
Who to? Do you know? Handball.
I'm not sure whether it was McRae that may have been penalised there, but he's going back to take it.
Well, this is baffling because the umpire had about 4 goes of trying to pay a free kick here. I mean, that is holding the ball. He's trying to grab the ball when he's sitting on the ground, and how they've plucked the free kick out of that one is very bewildering.
Well, they've been a bit stiff, I reckon, the Kangaroos in this term with free kicks. The Mickey Martin one with Lynch. And that was hard to see. Certainly that replay didn't suggest anywhere that McRae should have got a free kick. Now, he missed one in the opening term. He's going to kick from 45 metres. Looks like he's goal. He likes it. He's got it.
Well, they've sustained the onslaught, the Lions, and they've kicked a goal. They look as if they're perhaps a bit lower on petrol than the Kangaroos. Let's just have a fuller replay of this decision.
Was it for a high one there?
It wasn't for that. The umpire had a look at it. He was going to pay that one. He must have just, if we keep it rolling here...
He's actually mistaken the player who has the ball underneath, I would say.
Well, he's paid it maybe against... Oh, geez, what has he paid it for?
Did Harvey try to get a hand pass to it at the end, right at the end?
It's pretty tough to tell, wasn't it, even from the replay?
They've got 2 goals.
Maybe Martin Pike actually handled it once he took possession of the football, but
well,
stiff.
2 goals from interesting umpiring decisions to Brisbane, 1 to Lynch and that one to McRae, and the margin is just slightly less than those 2 goals. Well done by Johnson, goes for the boundary line, and there it is there, and that is half-time in this round 3 Ansett Cup match for year 2000. Brisbane lead by 10 points, 7-3 to 5-5.
Probably interesting umpiring decisions if you're a neutral supporter, Robbo, but I think if you're a Kangaroo supporter, you'd have another expletive for it.
There's no doubt about that, but I guess when this new rule is there can be problems.
So at half-time, it's a 10-point game, 7-3 to 5-5. That's if they make it, because the Lions, 23 points is the target for them, and they lead by 10 at half-time.
And without McKernan, they continue to use Glenn Archer as that second marking option up in the forward line.
Again, McDonald gets first hand on the ball, and trying to break away from the half-forward area there was McKinnon, not able to do so. The umpire will throw it in the air.
It's an amazing stat, isn't it? The Kangaroos have got a dominance by 9-3 in takeaways, and yet they've only won 2 hit-outs.
Well, they've got one of the best in and unders back in there at the moment in Anthony Stevens. Just watched him having a bit of a chat with Spider Burton before the first bounce to start the second half, and it'll be great to see him back in action and as feisty as he normally is.
And generally,
50-metre penalty. What did you see there? The player was taking the mark, and that was unnecessary.
Well, he came in and pushed him after the event, and if Dennis Pagan is true to his usual form, Brent Harvey will come off and get a free telephone message.
Gee, it wasn't a great 50-metre penalty either. Lepic goes very wide, and
well, the runner's going out to him right now, Jerry. I don't think he's going to be replaced, but I think a few words are going to be said.
I think he realised the handball was on from Lepic to Ackermanis, and he just had to hold things up.
I think he took the mobile phone out, Tipper.
Well, he's still there after having being spoken to by the runner, and the boundary umpire throws the ball in at half forward. Very well gathered by Voss from pretty much a standing start. Kicks the ball inside the forward 50. Simpson to Pike, still close to the line. Lawrence just forced it forward. McRae's kick to the front of the goal square. Can someone take a mark? No, big punch provided there by Martin, it may have been, to force a boundary throw in, and Dipper has some info.
Yeah, Robert Scott, Blakey, Calthorpe, Hewitt, Clayton and Adam Hay start this third quarter for the Kangaroos on the bench.
Lynch and Martin. Early goal will be really handy here for the Lions if they pinch a break. Shorter quarters in the Ansett Cup competition, 17.5 minutes plus time on. Ashcroft just tries to tap it back towards the square. Ryan Pagan's quick kick away, front spot. Notting took a good mark. He's got a terrific leap, hasn't he? And vertically, he's very impressive, Notting. This will test his kicking. Looked good last year. Athletic. Seems to have the ability to play in a few spots. Started on the wing tonight. Could even be a key forward or defender with his height and ability to leap.
It looks like he's matched up at the moment on Shannon Grant.
So he's got the edge there in terms of his height. And he's kicked that beautifully. He has kicked that very well for a goal.
Well, that really was a fantastic kick by Tim Notting to get a goal for Brisbane early in the second half. Ashcroft gets a little fist to it. Out wider still, Chris Scott. Ashcroft again. Important little kick forward. Malloy back to Lappin. Lappin to assess and then kick across the half-forward line, basically. Lawrence to be run down by Pike. No, he wasn't. He was able to shrug the tackle, backed himself, around onto the right. Can he kick his fourth goal? Great play by Stephen Lawrence. That's inspirational stuff. Stephen Lawrence has kicked 4 out of that goal tally of 9 for Brisbane. And the first 2 goals of the second half to Brisbane is creating a gap that I don't think the Kangaroos would be looking at with too many positive thoughts.
Well, he made it difficult for himself coming back, but he knew what he was doing. Son of Barry, who according to the placard is sexy, and it was a pretty sexy goal.
And the Lions bench, boys, you'll see on screen: Champion, Johnson, Robbins, Hart, Bradshaw and Matthew Kennedy.
Thanks, Dipper. Burton, McDonald. So the Lions away here to a 22-point lead. Good take by Lang, who's been pretty impressive. To centre half forward. Archer got rid of one of his opponents. Harvey kept his nut over the top of it to Pagan, getting a few touches. Wobbles it to centre half forward. Carey, or taking off Voss was a good mark. Went off early with Burley's opponent. Leppich was able to sort of keep Carey out of it for the moment, and Voss comes wide to Black. Black couldn't take the mark. Handball on the up by Notting was good to Martin, who's very, very quick. Voss has had 12 kicks so far in this match, so they'll be pleased with that. Inside, McRae missed it. Really should have done better in the end. Lang to Simpson. Simpson back, chance for Bell to break away here. Takes a mark at centre wing.
And transfers play into the middle. Abraham, maybe a little fortunate. Ashcroft nearly chopped it off. David King can go for goal. There's no one back there. Yes, there is, because he got under it a little bit, and the mark is taken back there by McDonald. Tries to get it to Voss. Voss able to get past Bell and then get the hand pass to Ackermanis. Ackermanis out wide at the feet of McKinnon. Knocks the ball clear, but it's only as far as Shannon Grant. Little left foot kick by Grant. Absolutely clean bowls Peter Bell. In goes Voss and Archer, and the ball spills over for a boundary throw in on centre wing.
Once again, Bo McDonald showing that he's developing as a footballer. He knew he was going to be sucked away from the goal square if he followed Big Spider Burton, so he had a bit of a bet each way, and in the finish he ducked back and took a chest mark.
Burton and McDonald attempt to kick off the ground by Burton, but McDonald gets the ball away, and in the finish, knocked clear by McKinnon away from Shannon Grant for another throw-in. Both coaches watching on intently. Dennis Pagan on the blower. Lee Matthews pretty composed. Centre wing, boundary throw-in. McDonald in the front. And knocked forward for Bell. Left foot kick by Bell. Should be gathered by Martin. He's done reasonably well in his match here with the Brisbane Lions. Voss coming up for his 13th kick. Michael Voss gets under and off the side of his boot over for a throw-in front there of Adam Lang and Jared Malloy, and Burton to have a spell on the bench. And John Blakey looks as though he's on the bench too there for the
certainly
Kangaroos.
is, and Adam Hay is on the ground, and Burton off for the Kangaroos, and Blakey's just about to come back on, and Abraham off.
So some changes for the Kangaroos. Hay, inexperienced ruckman, but he's shown a bit this year. Pagan gets it from Colbert, not such a good kick, and Huskis has got the mark at centre wing. Next goal's pretty vital here. Kangaroos do need it. Leppich takes it, bringing Carey up the ground a bit. This was really symbolic and a signature of his play last year at full-back, wasn't his ability to attack and counter-punch from back there. Good kick wide to Ashcroft, who takes a very good mark, I felt, to Power. Power has been stitched up to Scott. Scott to fall forward. Lynch caught underneath it. Ball hard to take. Lappin missed it. Scoop back. Colbert on the up was okay. Pike squeezes. Good hands by Lang. And then a clever kick. Finds Bell. Bell at the 50. Defensive 50, that is. Kicks it. Scholl. Important. He's going to be outnumbered. Did really well, Scholl. Gets it back inside. Pagan wobbles the ball to centre wing. Wants the boundary line, I think, here. Martin's got the pace to get to it. Handball back was okay. Over the top to Notting. He's got a bit of time. Handball to Huskis. Huskis stops, props, goes to his left, wobbles it to half forward. Not a good kick. Almost a mark taken by Simpson, then has to force it back towards King. Off Power. Boundary throw-in. Kangaroos needing it to get it to the other end at the moment. It's 35 to 57.
Yes, well, they haven't done much scoring in this term as yet, the Kangaroos. They went in at half-time on 5-5-35. They are still on that score. A couple of goals to the Lions, and it is a 22-point margin in favour of Brisbane. Simpson didn't quite get the kick away that he would have enjoyed. Power leaves it here for Black. Little kick, not bad. McRae wider still. Chance here for Lynch. Kicks it over his left shoulder. McRae will mark it. Has it gone the required distance? No. umpire calls play on and will be quickly on the scene to officiate in this ball up. Only 15 metres from the Brisbane goal. 9-3 to 5-5. Lynch's kick would have gone about 9.5 metres maybe, and the umpire to throw it in the air right on the goal line for Brisbane. Lynch again, tackled by Stevens, Martin over the top, and the umpire will come in and ball it up once again. Left forward pocket for Brisbane, only 15 metres from their goal, tight angle. If someone's to slot one from here, they'll need a little bit of luck.
Simpson belts it away. Running hard at it, Lappin brings it back to the square. Past the square, Lawrence. Martin, gee, Lawrence was good there. Stevens squeezing it towards the line and not quite finding it. Now it does. Running hard was Notting and also Pickett and Grant. So as Robbo said, no addition to the Kangaroos score at this stage. They're very good on the burst away with the Pagan Paddock situation, so don't count them out by a long stretch. They don't need to get too much of it forward to score. Simpson building back. Voss has been exceptional in his comeback game. Kicks the ball to about 20 metres. Martin lapping onto it. It's going to be a hard ball to control. Can he bring it back in with pace? Good tackle by Pickett. Forced him to make a blue, really. Archer was clever to King. Squeezing it back to about 50. Bouncing ball. Power and Colbert. Colbert able to push Power away. Pickett. Not Pickett, I should say Durkay. Touches it on the ground to Colbert. Colbert around the body. Too far for Scholl. Running after it, Huskers towards the line. Carey coming in. Huskers, I think, pretty happy to see it go out.
And you mentioned Pagan's Paddock. One of the great benefits of it is that the Kangaroos get so many shots, almost just waltzing into an open goal. And if we compare the way they've scored tonight, the two teams, 6 out of Brisbane's 9 goals have come from 40 metres or further out, and only 1 for the Kangaroos. So they're always getting it in that high percentage area.
Well, eventually the umpire has found a free kick to be paid to the Kangaroos. It's Pagan. Goes across the half-back line. Taken away by Pickett. Goes for Martin. Martin is on centre wing. He's able to duck back onto his right and then kick high in towards half-forward. Making it, well, in that circumstance there, young Hay has taken the mark. But that high ball coming in from Mickey Martin just makes it a little bit easier for the defenders to punch the ball away. On this occasion, Hay, they were maybe a bit Carey conscious, and Hay takes the mark at centre-half forward.
There's a wall preventing Wayne Carey getting to the ball, wasn't there?
Hay from about 45 metres to say the Kangaroos need this goal. It's perfect.
What a great play by Adam Hay. Played 60 reserves games for the Kangaroos. Not a senior game yet in the home and away series, so that's a wonderful start for him in this match, coming off the bench. Lappin kicking it back, so the Kangaroos tighten it again. McRae, big fly, taken by Pickett. Ball out. Pickett again putting the pressure on McRae. Back to Ashcroft. Ashcroft looked up. Well done. Now Power sort of waited for Hart. Now Power's got the chance. He's got McRae on his own. Decides to go on with a bounce. And a second. Gets inside 50. Neat little kick. Good one to Black in the pocket. He kept his cool then, Power. Ran a fair way. Bounced a couple. And found Simon Black, who was arguably the best man on the ground in the opening term.
He with Michael Voss both had 16 possessions so far in the game.
He's an exciting midfielder, this fellow. He looks as if he'll be a great endurance athlete. He'll be able to keep going and going. Highly skilled, so courageous, and has the chance here to stretch it again from the pocket. I think he's missed. It's a behind.
I think also important in that build-up, Bruce, was Luke Power, his ability just to assess the situation. And we know him as a very good forward, a bit of an opportunist, but he'll make his mark in league footy as a midfielder at some stage.
David King kicks in and finds Pagan. Away to Anthony Stevens. His kick lands the ball in the centre of the ground. Leppich, good mark. Very positive play there from Justin Leppich. Goes wider to the members' wing.
There's been a bit of a swing there. I think Leppich has been on top for the last 30 minutes or so.
Nodding to Ashcroft. Pagan just a little late on the scene. Ashcroft coming up for possession number 11. Short to Hart. Must get rid of it quickly. He does. High in towards half forward. Punched away. Back towards the full back line. Bell. Handball. King.
looked all right, but just the pressure or the presence of the Brisbane forwards harassing the Kangaroos defenders into making that error. Martin Pike on that occasion, the kick away finds the boundary umpire throwing it in left forward pocket for Brisbane. Only a matter of 12 or 13 metres around from the behind post. Ruck contest. Malloy gets a big fist to it. Pickett, Robbins just came onto the ground, Ben Robbins. And I think it might have been Nigel Lappin that went to the bench.
Yes, that's right, Robbo. Both Lappin and Voss sitting on the bench.
Carey, no possessions in this term. Lepic has had 3, and Lepic has had 3 marks.
Malloy's high ball towards full forward. Lynch comes back. Robbins and King underneath it, and he takes a safe mark in the back pocket. 17 points the margin, 41 to 58. Good play by Bolton at the back. Malloy, he dummied the handball, comes onto his left foot. Chance here for the Lions. Lawrence couldn't quite. Lynch probably should have handballed. Lawrence handball was cut off by Pipe. Harvey on the up, okay, to Simpson. This is the counter-attack where the Roos are normally so good. Carey holds his ground, unlucky not to get a free kick. Lepic against him, goes to Scott, back to Lepic. Lepic away, having the best of it in this term. Gets it to Bolton. Bolton hard and high to centre half forward. McRae outnumbered. Lang kept his eye on it courageously. McRae almost stole it from Martin. Mickey getting back with Pickett. Mickey trying to burst his way clear. He's held up. It's a ball up 25 metres from the Lions' goal. They're dangerous here, the Lions. Another goal here will really hurt the Kangaroos. So Lepic and Carey.
Well, he was all over him, wasn't he? There was hands high. It should have been a free.
Hart goes for goal and misses. So the Lions are dominating, but they haven't put the Kangaroos away. And history tells us that when you don't do that, you pay for it a bit, because the Kangaroos normally mount a counter-attack. 6-5 to 9-5 deep into the third quarter.
Yes, a 3-goal advantage enjoyed by Brisbane. Close to three-quarter time.
Carey pushing down to become an option.
A kick in done by David King. Goes wide to the half-back area where the mark is taken by Clayton. Clayton now looking to move the ball down towards the forward line with just a little bit of pace on it. Harvey tried to get the hand pass out of there. Bolton, pressure applied. Black, very good. Robbins across his left shoulder, a high ball in towards half forward. Marking contest. First to recover was McKinnon. Left foot kick by that player. Gets the ball all the way up towards Martin and Lynch. And Martin plays the percentages and knocks the ball clear for a throw-in. Tough customer. Hard to get a kick. Hard to get a clean kick against Mickey Martin.
Irrespective of the result tonight, I think you'd have to say, Bruce, that this Brisbane side are going to be very competitive, and if they can maintain a full list, they could do anything.
I think that was Black that had a snapshot at goal from deep in that left forward pocket, scored another behind. So a couple of behinds in this term to Simon Black, but more importantly, a very, very impressive game. Possession-wise, he's had 19 touches.
Well, we're looking at a bit of form, aren't we? The Lions won 10 straight going into the preliminary final last year, and the Kangaroos finished the season by winning the grand final, making it 8 in a row. I mean, you throw the Bombers into that equation, we're looking at 3 outstanding teams from last year who maybe look even stronger this year, if that's possible, the 3 of them. They're going to be the benchmark, you'd reckon. The Lions, the Kangaroos and the Bombers pick the order. Harvey, little one, or just a confusion there between Hay and also Scholl. No one really taking right away, and then going to ground. Free kick, I think, coming up here for Simpson.
Oh, it's going to Brisbane.
Gee, I thought Colbert actually might have got a free kick for in the back, but the free kick going to Huskis at centre half back. Now, did Scholl trap it in or something? Must have taken possession. Play on call. Bolton, that's sloppy by the kid. Has to get it back. Did all right to hold his man out. Huskis was terrific. They play with such flair, the Lions, when they're on a roll, don't they? Huskis gets it back to about the 50. Lynch unable really to get a crack at it. Mickey's held him up pretty well all night. And then Archer, good kick out wide. Getting Colbert free. Going over the top for Clayton. Clayton running and Power running harder and running him down. Good play. That's the sort of stuff that really lifts a team. McKinnon back to Huskis. Wobbly old kick to half forward. Oh, gee, Lang, that was a coat hanger on Robbins. Must be a free kick coming back. Coming back to Robbins at half forward.
Terrific stuff by Luke Power, just to keep chasing. He was never in the contest. You watch him here, comes from nowhere because he just persisted. There was no way known he was going to acknowledge that Shane Clayton was going to get a kick away there in that circumstance, and the forced turnover sees the ball back.
Lippage coming off now, Robbo, and Matthew Kennedy now will be playing on Carey, and they're just maybe resting Lippage for the last quarter.
19 points is the advantage for Brisbane. Boundary throw in. They're a chance to score here again. Over the top was Black. Hart kicks the ball to front of the square. Marking contest. Archer was fierce. That's around the neck to Lawrence, right in the goal square. Lawrence will kick his 5th goal. Lynch looks as though he's going towards the bench too. Dipper, you might keep an eye on that.
Yeah, Matthew Kennedy now going to full forward, and Bradshaw went on the ground and now picking up Carey. So that's an interesting move by Lee Matthews. So we have Lappin, Voss, and also Lippage off the ground.
Well, Stephen Lawrence, he's been terrific, hasn't he? Smaller player on the forward line. His return so far, 5 goals.
It's a bit of a break, isn't it? 6-5, 10-6, 25 points the margin. If they beat the Kangaroos by 23 points or above, they'll go above them. But don't forget that Sydney can make the semis by beating Richmond tomorrow. So that wouldn't necessarily put Brisbane in. It would just put the Kangaroos out. But you'd reckon the Kangaroos will come back from here and make some sort of a move. Burl back to Harvey. Harvey at 50, around his body, hooking hard, getting underneath it. Mark taken by Scott. Gee, the Lions are travelling like winners. I know there's a long way to go in this match, but they're going very well. Black, they're playing confidently to Ackermanis at half-back.
I think what they've done exceedingly well tonight is just win the ball back from the Kangaroos across that half-back, full-back line. They just haven't been able to get any system going up there at all.
Bolton nodding. That's the advantage over Grant in that situation with his height and his ability to take a big mark. That match-up working there for the Lions. Going hard and long is Notting, wanting Lawrence. Archer on Lawrence by the look of it. That's a significant move. That's danger, though. Mickey stood his ground, took a good mark. I thought Malloy was going to have a crack at him. Didn't. Martin out wide to Carey. So Archer to Martin to Carey. 3 significant players for the Kangaroos. Lang had nowhere to go, was forced to kick towards the safety, but only as far as Scott, and Scott can bring it back to Ackermanis. Ackermanis up the ground a bit at this stage. He's got Kennedy loose, making a move for him. Robbins goes back inside and finds Bradshaw having a run.
They've only been inside their forward 50 on 3 occasions in this term, the Kangaroos, whereas Brisbane have just about set up a tent down there. They've had it 10 times.
Scott, ball didn't really bounce for him, but he's able to get back, then floats one towards half forward, a bit sloppy actually, and Pickett gets hold of it and then bangs it back towards centre wing. Blakey, who's been on the interchange for a fair bit since quarter time, running hard towards the line. Blakey keeping it in and then going towards the pocket. Again, had no one ready to kick it to and found the line. I think that's probably the result he was looking for in the end.
Adam Huskus there having a bit of a blow just off the pace. The fans have been pretty well entertained. 25-point advantage with Brisbane. You can see there, very close to 3/4 time now. Hay, number 32, up against McDonald for Brisbane. McDonald just taps it back. Hay gathers. Hand pass away, Pagan. Little hand pass over the top. Harvey concedes. Goes back to Clayton. Clayton steadies and then kicks towards the front of the goal square. But Brisbane's defence, ever disciplined, punched the ball away. Black to gather. 22 possessions to Simon Black. And puts it on the face there of Power. Over the top, the hand pass. Ackermanis spins out of trouble beautifully. Then delivers with the left. Bit of a wobbly old punt kick. Gathered there by King. King for the Kangaroos. Goes across the middle of the ground. Mark taken here by Abraham. He bombs away. All the way down to the goal square. At the back, Blakey, but a good mark taken by Huskus. Gets it away to Martin. Martin, one bounce. Behind the play there was an incident. The umpire saw no infringement from either player. Ackermanis dispossessed by Harvey. Huskus caught. Handball away. McKinnon, and to put an end to hostilities here in the 3rd term. The siren has sounded. No score will be registered. Umpire having a talk there with Craig Scholl. And in a very, very interesting 3rd term, the Lions have kicked away. They kicked 3 goals.
to the Kangaroos' solitary goal in that third term. And at three-quarter time, it is 10-6, 66. The Lions, 6-5, 41, the Kangaroos.
25-point margin at three-quarter time. Welcome back, three-quarter time. I think it's a surprising scoreline here, not because the Lions are not a very, very good team, but most of us thought that the Kangaroos were primed for this one after their couple of wins. But at three-quarter time, it's going to be very hard for the Kangaroos to get back. They're 6-5, the Lions are 10-6.
Ansett Australia, the official airline of the AFL, is running an exciting competition during the 2000 Ansett Cup called the Ansett Club Membership Trivia Competition. To be in the running, all you have to do is join your club or be a current member. Watch 7 Sports coverage of the Ansett Cup for the weekly membership trivia quiz questions. Then ring the membership hotline on 1300 367 001 and join your club or quote your 2000 membership number. This week's question is, Tony Modra kicked this unbelievable goal against Hawthorn in his debut for his new club. Who went on to ultimately win the 1999 Ansett Australia Cup? A. Fremantle or B. Hawthorn. So ring 1300 367 001 and you could win some great prizes, including 2 people flying Ansett to 4 interstate games with their team during the home and away season, a double ticket to the Brownlow Medal and a night at the Hilton on the Park Hotel, and 2 tickets to your club's grand final breakfast and the 2000 grand final at the MCG, plus 16 runners-up prizes of a weekend trip to an interstate game, club merchandise, jacket and bag. So get on the phone now, see your team fly during the 2000 Ansett Cup and win.
Good luck with that. Now, the percentages, all important here. At the moment, if it stopped now, Brisbane 106.0 and the Kangaroos 104.1. But remember, the Swans have got 102.6. So if this margin stayed as it was, the Kangaroos would be out of the semi-finals and it would be between Sydney and Brisbane. Dipper at three-quarter time. We're a bit surprised up here. The Lions have been fantastic, haven't they?
Absolutely. They've really made the Kangaroos look lacklustre tonight. They've been playing terrific football, playing on all opportunities from the back line right through the middle and up the forward lines. Young Lawrence has done a terrific job. And Lee's used the bench beautifully here. We mentioned before, Lynch, Voss, Lappin was off the ground, and now they're back on the ground, because we thought that some of these players would run out of steam. But a terrific effort. We know how good the Kangaroos are, but it's been a long time they've been in this situation. We're interested to see how they handle this last quarter.
Just having a look at Beau McDonald, you have a look at the Brisbane ruck setup. He's taken every one of the 14 centre bounces, and yet at boundary throw-ins, Jared Malloy has taken 11 out of the 16.
So play about to begin. Last quarter here at Waverley. The Lions have a 25-point advantage going into this last term. Good mark taken by Abraham. Kicked the first goal of the game. Goes long, lands the ball in the square. Back goes Carey and marks and kicks a goal.
Trademark.
Well, that may give the Kangaroos a bit of impetus.
Well, they might need a bit, Robbo, don't they? But the Kangaroos always look their most dangerous when they're bringing the ball into the forward line quickly. And Winston Abraham gets back. He's not looking for shorts, he's looking for longs. And Wayne Carey, who's always pushing up the ground, charges back and left his opponent for dead that time and breathed some life into this match.
Well, he's kicked 3 goals. Abraham has kicked 2 for Brisbane. Stephen Lawrence has kicked 5.
So Carey's kicked 14 goals in his 3 Ansett Australia Cup matches so far. It's a big return, isn't it? So the all-important opening goal going to the Kangaroos. Notting out of the centre. Kicks the ball deep. Lynch goes to ground. Martin and Archer after it. Archer playing deep in defence on Lawrence. So obviously Lawrence, with his 5 goals, been such an important player for the Lions. Who's on the bench for the Kangaroos,
Well,
Dipper?
Shannon Grant, it's unusual to see him on the bench. He's on the bench. We've got Robert Scott, Anthony Stevens, Calthorpe, Hewitt and Burton.
Some big and good names there, aren't there?
That centre bounce, the breakaway instrumental in there again was Simon Black.
Well, he has been outstanding. Lang over the top of Malloy. Back to Ashcroft, pushing forward Simpson. Notting has been pretty good. Handball along the line towards Ashcroft. Out of play. Dipper just got me going on something. Then he said, it's been a while since the Kangaroos have been in this position. Well, I know they're different competitions. The last time they actually lost a match was July 24 in a classic against the Bombers at the MCG, when I think Carey kicked about 10 and Lloyd, they had that shootout. And what a game of footy that was. So July 24 last year. Two different comps, I know, and one much more important in the end than the other. But that's the situation.
Pickett nearly able to clear. Durkay, well done. Had the presence to throw his boot at it. Still Pickett.
Oh, what about
terrific.
that?
If King gets hold of this, well, he doesn't try to grab hold of it. He hacks it out of there. Huskis gathers, goes across the half-back line. He'd be pretty keen on this rolling all the way, Adam Huskis. It's not going to get there. Gathered here by Harvey. Ducks and weaves, gets back. A little tap on the ground. He'll kick to the goal line once again. If they can get one out of this, it's going to roll through for a behind. Gee, in the finish, just a little bit of good fortune there, maybe spinning off to the left. Brent Harvey, it would have been a classic.
We've got to have another look at that Byron Pickett tap over into the middle. Hopefully we've got somebody there searching the video for it.
Scott out wide to Power. Power between half-back and centre wing. Goes long to half-forward. McRae has been busy. With him is Pike. Hip and shoulder by Pike. In the end, they both go to ground, and Pike's going to be penalised under the new rule.
Now, he knocked it clear. He definitely knocked that clear. He didn't hand pass it, so...
McRae, about 80 metres out. Lynch and Martin. Free kick to Mickey this time. Well, maybe that's just as now. Here's the Pickett one that was brilliant. Absolutely superb. His vision.
It was only really the fumble that perhaps stopped it, resulting in a goal.
Martin from the back pocket. Blakey the target. Coming in late was McKinnon. Blakey might have been a bit stiff. Carey playing deep. Belts it off the ground as far as he can. Bolton after it, and with him Scholl. Bolton will be pretty happy to see that over the line and out of play. Bolton, who comes from East Lakes, Alex Jezelenko's club at Canberra. Who's on the bench for the Lions?
We have champion Johnson, Lepage, Robbins, Sean Hart and Matthew Kennedy.
Well, it's a 3-goal margin in favour of Brisbane. There's plenty of time, but it's been pretty stagnant, the goal scoring from the Kangaroos. They've only kicked a couple since half-time. Got a chance here. King's hand pass, intended by the look of it for Pike. Jared Malloy, wry smiles on the face of two pretty solid customers there, respective teams, Jared Malloy and Martin Pike. Hay, number 32, McDonald, number 43 for Brisbane. 66 plays 48. McDonald gets the front posse. Bashes it back over. Pretty well, a reasonable crowd for a day yesterday in Melbourne. 40 degrees, very, very solid northerly breeze, and 6,500 people have come out here to Waverley in much more pleasant conditions than we enjoyed last week, where it was a very hot evening.
Shannon Grant back on the ground and Scholl off the ground, and looks like Grant playing forward pocket around half forward line.
Well, if it's basketball, it's like the clock ticking down just for the moment. There's a long way to go, though. There's a lot of footy to be played in this game. At the moment, if you stop the clock, it would be nearly a dead heat as to which team would have the better percentage. Very close.
Well, we've had 3 consecutive boundary throw-ins, and each time it's been Beau McDonald take the front position.
See what happens here, Jared. Hay and McDonald. 2 young players who we expect to see a lot of in the future.
Once again, Hay just allowing himself to get bustled out, not getting his hand on the ball.
Black again has had his hand on the ball so often tonight to Lappin. 1 goal here would be absolutely damaging. Lappin's kick, Lynch goes early. Martin's done a terrific job on Alistair Lynch, building the ball towards the line, a boundary throw-in. Lynch has kicked a couple, but Mickey's had, I think, the best of it. 48-66. Big play coming up here. If the Lions can get one here, you'd think it would be on the Kangaroos, considering they've only kicked a couple since half-time. Lang's got Malloy, but the umpire gives Malloy the benefit of the doubt.
I reckon there should be some sort of interpretation there. If you take the ball out of the ruck, you've had your opportunity to get rid of it. If you get tackled, it should be a free kick.
Lapping high, Martin and Lynch. Now again a free kick to Mickey. Well, interesting, the umpires are prepared to play free kicks when a fullback and a full forward are going for the ball. We've seen Mickey get 2 in this term, and Alistair Lynch get 1 that looked a bit soft earlier in the match when he kicked a goal in that second quarter.
Martin for the Kangaroos, last line of defence. Indecision, but now it goes long, well outside the defensive 50-metre zone. Abraham, it's a free kick. Now the advantage is with the Kangaroos, and what a play to have the ball. David King, bounce it again, he does. Looks for the hand pass, then forced to kick with the left. Goes in towards full forward. Bradshaw knocks the ball away. And eventually over for a boundary throw in 50 metres around from the Kangaroos goal.
And it's an important piece of play there from Daniel Bradshaw, just showing that he's got the ability to play in defence. It was a terrific spoil away from Lee Colwood, who had the front position. Right now he's looking for a spot in league football to make his own, because he's been pushed out of that full forward position, not quite tall enough for centre half forward, looking to get a spot in defence.
Gathered by Ackermanis, had the time to just release the ball and then gather it again, kick it away past Malloy and Peter Bell. Umpire will throw it in. Spider Burton preparing to come onto the ground, and you would have to think that maybe the youngster Hay may find his way to the bench. Durkay, number 19, in front of Notting. Ball spills to the back. King again. Just a critical little fumble, and then eventually Voss takes the mark across that half-back line. Always looks a class act, Michael Voss. Lappin also does it nicely off either side. On this occasion, waits the ball beautifully out here for Power. Power's got a bit of space, can get past. He's got a bit of pace too, as well as space. Kicks the ball towards half forward, but on this occasion drops short, and Blakey is marked. Blakey at right half-back, goes short in turn, and the mark is taken by Carey.
Pickett was good, wasn't he, chasing Power a moment ago, forcing the error. Carey grits his teeth. Leppich with courage. Burton going the right way. The big Spider back to Clayton. Clayton took it very well, then bangs it hard, trying to get it as far as he can down the line. Harvey was outnumbered. Eustace didn't take the mark, though. Back to Harvey. Probably should have got it to handball. Voss has been wonderful. His handball's a good one. The trademark left-hand handball by him to Scott. Scott trying to eat up a bit of time, so he's got an option, and then he has to kick it hard and high. Malloy front spot, Lang against him. They won't go too fast after it. Malloy will work it towards the line, belts it down the line, finds it, boundary throw in. Well, we've had 5 minutes, I think, where most of the play's been out there and nobody's been able to score, so it's just been eating away and eating away. Malloy's intention was to get 10 metres, 15 metres, find the line and soak up a few precious seconds. At the moment, it's the Kangaroos trailing 48-66.
Yes, they just can't get that clean possession. Delivery to the forward line is just a little erratic coming in. Got a chance here into the clear. The ball lands at half forward. Burton, McDonald slipped over. Critical possession here. Simpson's little kick went out on the full, I think. Off the arm is the decision there by the boundary umpire, David King. 18 points is the advantage for Brisbane. 66 plays 48. We're down under 11 minutes left. Burton and McDonald. Spider does the leaning, and the umpire's found a decision in his favour. Free kick to Burton out of that boundary throw-in. He kicks the ball in towards half forward, and a simple mark and the finish taken by Eustace from behind Shannon Grant.
So unlike the Kangaroo style of play. Carey in the goal square, and it was really just a poke kick in hope.
Leppich the target. Carey went early. Leppich has got it. Handball to Power. Sits okay. It's a good kick, this one. Power goes hard and high to about 60 metres. McKinnon there, can't take the mark. Going to ground was Blakey, probably interfered with. Archer to Pike, put him under the hammer. Ball up. I know we're going on with the percentages, but it's important because of the semi-final. The Kangaroos would be in front of the lines if it stopped now, 107 to 103, basically. So they would be happy in terms of getting to a semi-final berth if the score remained as it is. And we haven't really had a score for 6, 7, 8 minutes at the moment.
Very true. Chance here for Lappin to drive the Lions forward. Bit of a wobbly old punt kick. Lands at half forward. Gather was by McKinnon. Knocked on by McRae. Taken by Simpson. Gets a kick away. Ineffectual, really. Brisbane will go forward again. Nodding. Out wider. McKinnon. Harassed by Blakey. Blakey after the ball again. And then with his left foot. Kicks it clear for a throw-in. Maintaining an 18-point advantage, the Brisbane side. 9.5 minutes left in this match. Richard Champion on the boundary line. And you can see the gap there between Brisbane's 10th goal coming late in the third quarter. Chance for Simpson again. Kicks with the right. Back towards half forward. Mark taken by Abraham.
Centre wing. Now Burton goes for him. He goes towards Spider Lappin, cuts it off.
And this is where the absence of Corey McKernan really has cost them. They've just broken down up forward so many times. And I guess Brisbane could also say that they're missing Clark Keating and have just covered their losses better.
Nodding just short. He knew that Black was in the space. Black normally a good kick. Front spot was Champion back on the ground. Chris Scott. Lang belts it away. Well done. Gets it back to Pagan. Back to Lang. Back to Harvey. Promising build-up to Clayton. To Carey. The Kings a long way from home. Just pops it over the top. They're running hard, the Kangaroos. Well, King and Grant, both eyes on the footy. And David King, who was spectacular in the end, takes the mark. He's inside 50. A goal here does two things. Makes it pretty hard for Brisbane to make the semis, regardless of the result, and does give the Kangaroos still a chance of winning this match and making sure they go through to the semi-final. So big kick from David King here. Started on the interchange and has had a big last quarter.
Interesting replay, that one. It looked as if David King had a look and saw that the teammate was there, and yet there were still both players having a crack at the footy.
Good angle here. Runs out to the right for the hook. He's kicked it really well. He's kicked a goal. They're still in it.
Well, the Kangaroos do get that much-needed goal to bring the gap back to just 12 points. Stevens coughs it up. Taken there at half-back by Martin out wide. He finds Champion. Champion can get past, does it well in the finish. Got past Mickey Martin and then kicked into the pocket. Mark is taken by Black, who has been quite sensational in this match, Simon Black.
And Big Bo is off the ground.
Goes across the half-forward line, and that is a mark, not paid. Scott, Burton. Well, there was no one really to his advantage, and Champion was there, able to take the ball away, but his kick taken by Scott. Stevens out wide. Can they break away here on the outer side? Blakey, left foot kick down the line. Big punch from behind. Disciplined play. Terrific football by Lepic. Pretty simple coming from that position, but very effective there, Justin Lepic. Margin 12 points in favour of Brisbane. 7 minutes left in the match. Burton, Ashcroft, Kennedy, Scott, Pagan in the front there, Ryan Pagan. Boundary throw in on centre wing.
And often in the old days, people in the coach's box were accused of barracking, not doing their job, just watching the play. We'll have another look at Gary O'Donnell. He's got his head down. He's studying something. It's got nothing to do with the action out on the ground.
Chris Scott's kick. Pike's height advantage over McRae. Notting running onto it. It's been an important play, but he's missed the bounce and puts himself under pressure. And it'll be a boundary throw in. He's a dasher Notting, and he's played pretty well. Scotty running hard. Scotty playing his 32nd pre-season match tonight, or night competition game, which is equal to Langford and second only to Blakey.
And just a little skill error there. You saw him just bounce the ball as if it was a dry day. When it is a little bit wet and dewy, you've got to bend the point a little bit more and belt it further into the ground at a sharper angle.
Ackermanis gets good distance. Colbert holds his ground. Lawrence, could he kick number 6? He's hit the post. Well, you'd think a goal there would have closed the match off just about. Certainly not the semi-final situation, but it's a 13-point game, and at the moment North are still in the box seat.
Tell you what, he did well there, Stephen Lawrence, didn't he? He must
give away a few centimetres to Lee Colbert, but certainly not conceding anything in the way of body strength. Kick in has been taken by Stevens. He runs away and then kicks towards the member side. We're looking for and finds Lang. Lang is behind the wing. He'll kick the ball close to half forward. Not really favouring Carey, certainly favouring Leppich. He's dispossessed. Well done by Clayton. Handball back. Martin is on the half-forward line. Kicks the ball towards full forward. Here's a chance. Good play. Abraham over the top, and Carey will get the goal.
Grandstand finish coming up, isn't it? 9-6 to 10-7. 7-point margin, and Stevens bursting through. Carey's kick 4. Leppich at the back. Abraham trying to go through. Ackermanis. Ball still to be won at half forward. Harvey left foot. Hard and high. It's not going to be a goal. Mickey Martin letting it go through in the end for a behind. He may have been disorientated, and it's a 1-goal game. Kangaroos finishing strongly here.
What about down on the benches, Dipper?
Yeah, Sean Hart's about to come back on. A bit of run in the middle. A very exciting game down here. We've got Big Bo McDonald getting his calf massage at the moment. Yeah.
Getting a new set of tyres, is he?
Yes.
Ackermanis, Black hurled up. Black was clever, the handball. To Voss, the back turn. He just didn't have the pace up and the momentum. Powers, handball good. Out to Ashcroft. They need a goal, the Lions. If they're to win, you'd reckon they're going to have to score a goal here because the Kangaroos will keep going. Malloy dropped it, but he's going to get a free kick.
So that's a weak free kick.
And is it 50 metres? I hope not. It is 50 metres. Can you believe that? That could be the ball game.
Well, what is the umpire thinking here? He has just let that go. That is a shocking decision. And just showed a distinct lack of understanding of the game.
It's holding the ball, isn't it? I mean, he's taken possession and just dropped it in the tackle. And then the 50-metre penalty for the kick afterwards. So Malloy has had a quiet night, has the chance to make it almost impossible. Although there is 5 minutes to go. Make it tough anyway for the Kangaroos to win this match. Jared Malloy, basically straight in front. I think he's missed it. I think he's missed it. 7 points the margin, 68 to 61.
Just back on the bench there, Jared, and Michael Voss has come off the ground. I don't think we'll see him for the rest of the game, so interested to see what happens from here.
He's been terrific, Dipper. He's had 18 possessions. The kick in is, again, very good. Colbert has the football. I'd hate a game of football like this to be decided by a couple of decisions that were questionable. And Brisbane have kicked a couple of goals from questionable umpiring decisions. Notting does well, doesn't mind polishing off a good game. Marcus Ashcroft got caught up there in the finish. Notting's kick was gathered by Pagan. Just a little blindly there, Ryan Pagan. Out to where McKinnon's got a chance. He's run down by Pike. Anthony Stevens, not clear there. Chance for Black. Ball spills for Archer. Keeping his footing. Notting again, not able to break away. Colbert with the football. Umpire will ball it up about 55 metres from the Brisbane goal. They lead by 7 points to Brisbane.
Haven't been able to goal in this term. Colbert took it out of the air. Kicks back to centre wing. Bradshaw nearly, not paid. King's away. A bounce. A second bounce. He's bouncing it hard into the turf because of the softness. Stops, props, brings it back inside. Wants Abraham, who can turn people inside out. Can go all the way. Winnie goes for goal and drills it. Sensational.
Well, a bit of excitement here at Waverley now. Brisbane only a point in front. 3.5 minutes left. Those set of clearances all important. Anthony Stevens can't break away. Ashcroft, well tackled.
Bob McDonald's now got his new tyres on. Jared is about to come back on.
No draws in the Ansett Cup competition, so there'll be no draw here. There'll be extra time.
Umpire prepared to throw the ball in the air. Burton trying to make himself a target at half forward. Colbert kicks loose off the side of his boot as at a mark. Not taken anyway by Simpson. Goes after it again, provides the contest. Desperate there was Huskis. Did he infringe? According to the umpire, he did. Simpson plays on. Kicks with the left foot towards half forward. Ball spills to the front. Brilliant roving by David King. And he has gone for goal. He has ridden that all the way, but not quite hard enough. Scores level with 2.5 minutes left. Very important possessions now from either side.
And we've got a hamstring injury by the looks, Dipper.
Yeah, Huskis is in a bit of trouble here. He's just trying to get him off the ground. He's telling me he's all right. And Bossy coming back on, interesting.
Scott nearly off, wasn't he, Chris Scott? David King has played some sort of a quarter in this final term. Short to McRae. So suddenly, the Kangaroos will be favourites to win the match. For I reckon the first time since about halfway through the second quarter.
Since you gave us that stat, Bruce.
July 24. I'm going to throw that one away. Gee, they've come back well. Brisbane have butchered a bit in this last quarter. A couple of chances to kick goals. They haven't done it. You can't give a team like this too many chances to come back at you. Let's see what happens in the last couple of minutes. Clayton has been very good in the second half. Carey and Burton spy the front spot.
Good try.
Well read by Martin. He wants the boundary line, finds it, and a boundary throw. So the chances of extra time are pretty good here.
Yeah, they're trying to get Voss and Bo McDonald on the ground at the moment. That's the lines, that is.
Well, they want Bo McDonald to counteract the huge height advantage the Spiders got at these throw-ins.
Burton at the back. Good tap. Carey.
She's a mark if you're handy.
Pagan. Abraham couldn't take it. Chris Scott. Left foot kick. This is Stevens. Anthony Stevens. Player on the mark is 52 metres from goal. Stevens, a wobbly old punt kick. It's right in the square. Archer couldn't take it. Hacked out of there by Ackermanis. Chance for Huskis. If he's got a crook hamstring, he's done well. The kick, not too bad for Brisbane. Hard. Power. Get rid of it quickly. He does. That's McKinnon. Still Pagan. Little kick. It's by gee, it was close, wasn't it? He threw his left arm out. May have hooked it in. And he's been paid the mark. And Shannon Grant is a very, very good converter.
Dennis Pagan will just take that bit of tape out and show them, because that's the Kangaroos to a T, isn't it? Finding and making something out of nothing. Pagan desperately getting his boots and, you know, a half chance, and Grant just going for it.
She's at skill, isn't it?
King 7 kicks and 1 hand pass in this last quarter. That's David King, and also kicked a magnificent goal.
We'd think any score would be enough with only a minute to go.
He'll kick the score. It is a goal.
Gee, they're a good side, aren't they?
Well,
run them off and back they come. They're a goal in front. 11-8 to 10-8. Huskis off. 6 goals in 3 quarters, the Kangaroos. 5 goals in the last term to 0. They're a goal in front, and they're going forward again. Getting rid of Kerry Lepage. Bouncing ball, Lepage under pressure. Able to put under the gun, and now it looks as if the Lions have got very little chance of winning this match. And it means that Six against probably Carlton in the semi-final next week. Port Power would have to win by an extraordinary margin tomorrow night to put the Blues out. That's a high-powered game, isn't it? The Blues and the Kangaroos. Remember the grand final in the day competition, the big home and away last year. That'll be a big build-up if that's what happens, and that's the way we're going. What an extraordinary performance here by the Kangaroos.
And I mean, Anthony Stevens just proving how much courage he's got. He's had, well, he's only had 12 possessions. He's had 8 in this last quarter. I know he spent a fair bit of time on the bench, but he's given them that extra piston in the middle of the ground. Wayne Carey's also bobbed up with 6 possessions and a couple of goals in this term.
I think your perceptions on Anthony Stevens are absolutely spot on. He just gets the ball clear of the centre bounce and into their forward half to put pressure on that half-back line of Brisbane. They've been a little bit stiff with Voss off the ground, and that is a Kangaroos win. Carey kicked 4 goals, Winston Abraham kicked 3. Shannon Grant's second goal was the goal that saw the Kangaroos in front at the critical stage of this match. They've won by just 6 points, 11-8 to
Tim Notting's face said it all. How'd they lose that, and how did the Kangaroos win, Dipper?
Yeah, thanks very much, Gerard. Well, the question was, how did the Kangaroos win that one? They're down and out three-quarter time. You have to show something.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we know we're a competitive side at all stages during the game. When we're down, we played our best, I think, and you know, we got a hurry on at the end there, and it was a great win.
Well, they gave me no space all day, the Brisbane Lions. They're going to be a tough side to beat throughout the year.
Yeah, it's becoming that way every time we play them. There's only 2 or 3 points in it today, only a goal, so you know, it's going to be fantastic for the AFL.
You got about 7 kicks on in the last quarter. What position were you playing?
Oh, I think I only had about 9 for the day, so 7's a good result then.
Good on you, mate. Well played.
Gee, they don't give anything away, Tipper. He still wouldn't tell you exactly where he's playing. Gerard, it's February the 11th. It's sort of you don't want to waste one in February like this. 25 points behind and still you get up.
Well, who knows what the psychology of this victory will mean later on the season, Bruce, but there's no doubt that these two sides are going to meet a couple of times late in the year, one suspects.
I know it was only in the context of the match, it's probably a little match, but it got away from the Lions. They'd love to have got a little bit back on the Kangaroos for what happened in the preliminary final. They wasted the chance a bit tonight, didn't they?
Well, I think what happened was that the forward line for the Kangaroos opened up and they started dominating in the middle of the ground, and they were getting the ball into their forward line pretty quickly. They've got a couple of exceptional players who can do the extraordinary, like Winston Abraham, and David King produced a couple of extraordinary feats. Wayne Carey, well, the name says it all. But I think Lee would be disappointed that they just fell away, and I don't think they didn't kick a goal in the final term. And it's very few times you can win games against this quality opposition in particular when you don't kick a goal in any quarter.
Well, there's Dennis, and he'd have to be thrilled. They're just a great club, and they're so well drilled, aren't they? They are so well coached and drilled that even in the heat of the battle and under great pressure, they don't forget the things that have been drummed into them for so long now. Hagan in his 8th season. They just remember what to do, play the percentages. Carey, he just reads it so well. He was on the end of a couple tonight. He kicked 4 goals, 2 in the last quarter, but he reads the play and he reads this club so well. Big win in the end. I mean, it's February the 11th, but boy, it's stirring stuff, isn't it?
Well, you know, this match meant plenty. It meant one side was going to go on and play in a semi-final, and perhaps one side wasn't. But, and I think that's the bonus of the Ansett Cup, when there's more riding on it.
Well, some famous faces when you look around that group, aren't they, that have done so much in footy. It was 11-8 to 10-8 at the end, 74 to 68. Well, what an extraordinary finish. A great game. Hope you enjoyed it. 11-8 to 10-8 in the end. Carey with his 4. Abraham, a sensational last quarter goal. And Lawrence got 5 for the Lions.
The big sports events keep coming on Australia's leading sports network. This is Channel 7, Australia's Olympic network.
As we check the ladder now for the Ansett Australia Cup from this group, Group A, or Group 1. And as you can see, the Kangaroos not only put Brisbane out of the semi-finals, they put Sydney out today because the Swans can't make it even if they beat Richmond tomorrow. So it'll be the Kangaroos. Now on the weekend, Sydney to play Richmond tomorrow for a bit of pride and positioning. Port Adelaide have to beat Carlton by about 15 goals to make the semi. So it looks like it'll be the Blues and the Kangaroos. West Coast Bulldogs, Collingwood Fremantle, neither of those can make it. Geelong Melbourne, important game. Melbourne in the box seat, but if Geelong win, it opens the door for Adelaide. And Hawthorn and Essendon is a very interesting game. The Bombers win, they are in. So there's lots of permutations going into this weekend. Check your local guides for details of our coverage here on 7 Sport. Well, what a game in the end. The Lions looked home, didn't they? They were 25 points in front at three-quarter time, but it was the Kangaroos. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the weekend.
the Ansett Cup. Proudly brought to you by Nike. What are you getting ready for? Holden Commodore Series 2. Drive the pride. Drive the passion. Drive on. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. Hahn Premium Light. Now that's taste. TAC. And Ansett Australia, official airline to the AFL.
Celebrate with the one to watch. This program proudly brought to you by Simmons.